Israel and pro-Palestinian rallies both taking place here in the city today.
That's right. They're calling to free the hostages taken by Hamas and to protect civilian lives in Gaza.
Fox 5's Arthur Chian is live in Midtown where one of the demonstrations just wrapped up. Arthur.
Steve, Natasha, just about half an hour ago, there were hundreds of people on this block behind me here. It dissipated just a few minutes ago as many of them went marching off in different directions. At a separate rally this morning, the fact that there are about 200 people who've been taken hostage by Hamas. Those who spoke out there were family members trying to give voice to their loved ones who can't speak up for themselves right now.
The words may be foreign, but the sound of a children's lullaby is universal. The cost of the conflict and war, innocent civilians targeted or caught in the middle, including children, even toddlers. At a Free the Hostages rally this morning by the United Nations, Shani Granatubultan was standing in unity with families whose loved ones are being held hostage, tears erupting suddenly when she finds out her relatives, a mother and her 3 children, are among the kidnapped.
Just literally a couple of minutes ago, we got the message that the mother and 3 of the children are found alive in Gaza. And I think it's just so surreal for us not to know what's going on with them.
Moshe Emilio Lavi is here calling for the release of his brother-in-law, Omri Miran. The soft-spoken 46-year-old was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists during the attacks a week and a half ago. Moshe credits Omri for being extra involved in his daughter's upbringing, so Moshe's sister can focus on career development.
We just want to make sure that hostages are not being forgotten in the midst of this ongoing tragedy for our community, for Israel, for the entire region, that the hostages are at the top of the discussion with policymakers, decision makers, anybody who is involved.
Hours later, rallies continued in different parts of the city, including this one outside the Cooney location at 5th Avenue and 34th Street. Many here, including Crusell, worry for the safety of innocent civilians and children in Gaza.
It's horrible. What I've seen is horrible. And if people here in New York that went through 9/11 can identify with it.
While nobody seems to have a monopoly on blame in this war, Moshe speaks of a future for humanity's sake.
I grieve for the loss of any innocent life, and I hope we live in a world that doesn't include the level of barbarity, radicalism, and hate for people for what they are, whether they're Jews, Muslims, or anything else.
As charged as these rallies have been, we want to point out that we have witnessed nothing that nears physical violence. Nonetheless, the police department reminding New Yorkers that this is a very unpredictable situation here, also reminding them of their phrase that if you see something, to say something. We're live in Midtown. Arthur Chian, Fox 5 News. Steve, Natasha, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Arthur.